Hey everybody, Bat Tracy back again for WYSADWTA on WYSADWTA, and doing a little different type of video today. This is actually the first type of video I've ever done of this kind, but I'm going to show you how to rebuild the RBA that comes with the SMOK TF-V8. I don't know if that's how you pronounce their company names. S-M-O-K. I think it's either SMOK or Smoke. It's probably Smoke, but that doesn't make sense because it's vaping. I don't know, but yeah, first off, I'm going to teach you how to rebuild the RBA that comes with this. This is what I've been using to vape on for the past few weeks or so now. And I wanted to put this like a how-to out there, because I know RBAs can be pretty difficult to get into, especially if you're just getting into vaping or whatever. And this one's a pretty simple build. So I'm going to go through and show you all the things that I am working on here. And I will change the camera angle to show you everything that I'm doing with my mod. First off, I want to show you, so this is my tank. I got the TF-V8. Not sure which one it is. I can show you the box. It's the TF-V8 Cloud Beast. The box is somewhere over there. I just had to look at it, but it's the Cloud Beast, so that's the tank I got. And then my battery is the eLeaf iStick Power. It goes up to 80 watts. So, and for what I'm building with, I got Japanese cotton, of course, and then I use pre-made coils. They're Tuska TSUKA coil. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but they're 0.25 ohms. So that's them right there. That's what I used to build with. And then you always want to make sure you have paper towels, of course. Juice gets everywhere. It's so messy. I always have like tons of multiples to set things on, making sure everything's clean. Yeah, so I'm gonna real quick take down my tank, and then we'll get into the build, and I'll show you how to do everything. I guess I can show you this real quick. So first, you're gonna start by taking off this little bottom part. This is what connects the battery to the mod. It's got a little connector pin there. And then this is the actual RBA right there. And then this is just the rest of the tank, obviously, the glass case. Just got juice everywhere. The glass casing with the trip tip and everything. So I say you gotta have paper towels. You get juice everywhere. It's ridiculous. Alright, I think that's the best I'm going to be able to get the camera. I'm using my cell phone, so I can't really angle it very well. I guess that's a little bit better. I don't want, like, all my junk to be in screen, but I think this is the best we're going to be able to do. I'll try and show you everything. I gotta get this lid off. My coils were a little close last time I built them. Get that off. Alright. So there's the setup I got going on currently. I don't know if it'll focus. Just 2 coils and the cotton in there. But I've had this in there for a couple days now. It's starting to get a little funky, so thought I'd rebuild it, get a new one in there, and film it. So I'm just going to take this one apart real quick, and then I'll show you what to do after. Alright, so there's the RBA, the deck before anything's in it. You can see I can't get my camera to focus ever, and it pisses me off. I'm sorry. No, it still won't focus. Alright, I can't get it to focus. I don't know. So you put the wires, the coils are going to go through these little holes, and then sit right on top of these little, these areas that you can see through. I'm probably the worst at this, but alright. So you get the coil in like that. I really wish my camera would focus so that you could see what I'm doing. I don't know how to get it to focus. I'm really sorry. Alright, so you can see the coil there, and you go through the top on one side and the bottom on the other. And you want to make sure that there's room underneath the coil in between the coil and the deck. Like so. Make sure it's not touching anything. Okay? And then you're just going to screw in those little screws to get the coil to stay tight. Alright, so once you get your coil in there how you want it, it should look like that. I just take wire clippers and clip off the edge as close as I can, because you really don't need it in there. It helps for space. Let's clip those off, just like so. Oh, I lost that one. Don't know where it flew to. There's the little one though. So I'm going to go ahead and put the other one in, and I'll do that off screen and then show you at the end. Alright, once you got both of them in, this is something I always like to do. I guess you don't have to do this, but it's something I like to do, is I try to get them as perpendicular with the base as I can. Get them really smooth and straight. I will test them with a quick dry fire. Get this out of there. Alright, got them on there. So now what I do, I throw it on the base there, pop that on, and we're going to test it. Here, I'm going to turn the light off for a second. Alright, see how it's getting red hot on the edges and working the way in the middle? You don't want that. You want the heat to start in the middle and work its way outward. So how to do that is pretty simple, actually. If you have that problem, I just take pliers. You kind of got to just push the coils together. Kind of make sure they're really tight together. Pressing on each other, and you're going to want to, like I said, you're going to want to try and get them as flat as you can, as perpendicular with each other. Make sure they're not touching any other metal on your deck though. But yeah, like I said, I try and get these as tight as I can together. Alright, got it pretty good right there. You can tell it starts in the middle and goes outward. So when I press the fire button, it gets red hot in the middle and goes outward instead of coming from the outside right here on the edges and going inward. It starts from the inside and works its way outward. That is what you want. And I will say, when you're dry firing these, always go on a low wattage. You don't want to be dry firing these at a high wattage. I know you're not supposed to, or at least if you look online, a lot of places will tell you not to dry fire. But that's how I test it. I don't have a multimeter or anything. I'm sure what I'm doing is not the correct way to do this, but you know, whatever works for you is what I always say. So I'm going to go ahead and add the cotton into this, and I'll show you that afterwards. This is really hot though, so I gotta let this cool down. Alright, so here's the cotton. So what I always do is I try and pull out a little end, get that to a T, twist that like that, and then you're going to simply just put it through your coil. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it. Alright, so once you get it through, you just kind of pull on it, get that through. You're going to want a little bit of fluff on each side, and I usually cut off this end here, which is why I'm pulling it back. So there. I'm going to clip that and then do the other side and show you. There you go. I'm going to do the other side real quick and then show you. Alright, so there's both sides. Fluff them out a little bit. And then simply what you're going to do is you're going to push these down into these. There's these little, I don't know if I'll be able to even show you guys. There's these little reservoir holes right there. You can see it. You just push them down into there, and that's basically going to soak up the juice that you put into your tank. So you can see I'm pressing it down there. You can do that to both sides, and you really want to make sure you get the cotton in there, because that's going to prevent it from leaking into your tank. I don't know if you can see the cotton in that little air hole, whereas on the other side there's no cotton yet. Yeah, so basically putting the cotton in that reservoir is what soaks all your juice in through your tank to vaporize. So if you don't have enough cotton, you don't get the juice in there, or the juice gets in there too much and it leaks, which you do not want. Alright, and there you go. That's the deck with the cotton and everything. So now what you're going to do, take your juice. I'm currently using Buddha Spit by Dropstar. I think it's like a strawberry cream or something. I don't know. I just got it fairly cheap, actually. So I thought I'd test it. Alright, so what I'm doing now is priming the coils and the cotton. You're going to want to take your juice and you're going to soak all your cotton and your coils in the juice to prime it, so when you do end up firing it, you're not dry firing and burning all your cotton away, which is not ideal, because then you built this for nothing and you would have to start over. So you want to make sure you get all your cotton all juiced up. I put a little drop into the reservoir there to get that cotton soaked up. Do that on both sides. I go all over the cotton, do it multiple times. I go over the wires. I do it everywhere that I can put juice that will get soaked up. And let's try it. Alright. And it's looking good to go. Heating up very nicely. There's no burning of the cotton anywhere. So that's good to go. And currently the setup is 0.27 ohms of resistance. I got it at 44 watts currently while I'm building this. But I do tend to vape a little bit higher. I typically vape anywhere, let me get my stand back up here, anywhere from like 50 to 55 watts is typically my normal setup. It just depends on the juice levels that I'm using and everything. You know, some juices need a higher wattage, others need lower. And it all depends on personal taste too, whereas like I typically keep my temperature control down. The lowest setting on this battery is 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is typically what I vape at, because I like a colder vape. I don't like when my vape's really hot, so I tend to keep it at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. There's the this is the little cover for the deck. You put that on. That covers all your gear right there. Then you're going to want to put your glass case back on. I'm going to clean this out a little bit, and you know, you get juice in the... I just put a new flavor. I'm going to put a new flavor in, so I want to make sure, you know, I get it clean. So yeah, you just pop the glass back on there. The glass doesn't fit on here the greatest. What I find works the best. That's something I always do too when I'm rebuilding this or anything like that. I always like to take everything apart and clean everything, every piece. Just makes it simpler, less hassle. Because that is something that happens when you vape. You get juice everywhere. It makes a mess. And you're always gonna want to clean your stuff. Not super regularly, but pretty regularly, to avoid any issues with the mod or tank or anything like that. If you've got any questions, I'm sure you can go to your local vape shop or you can go on Reddit. There's tons of subreddits dedicated to vaping and all that. That's where I learned quite a lot of stuff. Just any questions I have, I just usually Google it, or I go to my local vape shops too, and they're always very helpful. So yeah, you're gonna want to pop the glass back on the top. It goes way easier on the top, and then simply, my hands are all juicy, so I can't get the grip on it. There you go. Okay. Want to just screw it back in there. Make sure everything's screwed in tight. Clean everything off. And there you go. And obviously, if you're rebuilding this using the RBA, you should know how the tank works at least. If you have this tape. If you're new to it, though, and this is the first thing you're ever doing, I hope I helped you a little bit. Like I said, this is the first ever tutorial I've done on vaping, and it's probably going to be the only one I've ever done on vaping. But yeah, I wanted to do this. I love vaping. I love, I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 14. I smoked pretty much all the way up until I was like 20. Quit cigarettes for like 6 months and went to vaping. Then I quit vaping, went back to cigarettes for over a year, and now I'm back vaping, and I have no plans to go back to smoking. I really liked smoking, but I find vaping way more enjoyable now. There's all these different flavors. You can get way more power, way more cloud production than with cigarettes. And overall, I feel better. I'm healthier. My lung capacity's come back. I can breathe better. I don't always stink like a cigarette. Like, that's been the greatest, is I just don't stink anymore. Like, and I will say, I find now that when I'm hanging out with people that do smoke cigarettes, I notice it way more, to the point where I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that. Like, I know I smelled bad. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, so I want to put this out there to give back a little bit. I'm going to fill my tank real quick, and we'll try this flavor and see what the kind of cloud production I got. I will mention this real quick. This tank is top fill. You fill up right on the top instead of taking off the bottom part. I've seen a lot of people comment or online saying that you have to close your airflow holes right there when you fill this. Otherwise, you get leakage through the tank, and it leaks, and you get juice running down. That used to happen to me when I was using the atomizers that come with the tank, and I'd always have to close the air hole, fill it. You got to flip it upside down, then you open them again. It was a really big hassle. So I found with the RBA that as long as you get the cotton in there well enough and you build it well enough, you get no leakage whatsoever. So you can feel free to fill it all day long, top fill. Don't even have to touch those the airflow holes, which is super helpful because it's an annoyance if you forget it. I forgot to show you guys the cloud productions. I'll do that real quick. So I currently got it at 44 watts right there. Like I said, it's 0.27 ohms of resistance. I always like to start at a lower wattage when I first start out to get the new coils chance to heat up and everything. Pretty good cloud though. I'm going to kick up the wattage a little bit. I'm going to go to about, let's try 50 real quick. And if I feel like I'm going to go higher, I usually, like I said, I go between 50 and 55. Roughly, that's what I like to keep it at, but to each their own. The flavor's tasting really good. I'm going to kick it up to 53. And there you go. So that was how to build the TF-V8 Cloud Beast RBA. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I already did the outro. Forgot to film this a little bit, so I'm putting this in. But yeah, just make sure you give me a thumbs up. Helps me know that what I'm doing on YouTube is worthwhile, and like people are actually watching and enjoying and engaging in the content that I make. So it helps me out. Really does. I love doing YouTube. I love doing this. Love just making videos of any kind. I know a lot of people use YouTube as a means to get paid and all this, and I would like that because I could make a career out of this. But at the same time, I just like doing this and want to be able to do this for people that if you need to be an RBA, or if you're interested in movies and want to look up a movie review or something, yeah, come to our channel. That's what we're here for. It's what I'm trying to do. For the people, because this is what I like on YouTube. I like these type of videos. I watch Grim Green. I watch people. When I first was learning to build the RBA, I YouTubed it. I watched someone do it. So it's really helpful. These types of videos and everything. So I'm trying to give back. So just, yeah, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks a whole lot. Yeah. So if at any point you liked this video, if it was helpful to you at any way, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below, and always subscribe to this channel. We got tons of stuff. This is just a random video I did, but we're talking movies, video games, stuff like that. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what kind of deck you guys use down below, or if you rebuild your own, what kind of tank you got, what kind of setup you use. I'm always interested in this stuff, so let me know. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. I'm Bat Tracy. Would you spend day with Tim on WYSADWTA? See you in the next one. Bye bye.